Hey, hey, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome back to the airwaves. We're just getting ourselves set back up here, so bear with me. All right. All the platforms are getting notifications sent out. All right. Hey, Kimberly. Good to see you over on TikTok. Good evening, everyone. As we are settling, not settling down in all of our little platforms here. I'm over on Facebook in 4 different places, our Activating Your Great I Am group page, and then the Facebook pages for Heaven on Earth Ministries, The Godly Woman, and Great I Am Radio. Good to see you all there. I'm on LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Happy to be casting out to all those platforms. Some of them pretty newly. And then, of course, my good peeps over on TikTok. I hope one day to be able to stream my TikTok peeps into this platform, but in the meantime, we're coming to you live from multiple devices just to make it all work. So thank you. If you're a moderator on one of the platforms, would you please drop an M down in the chat? Let us see where you are, which platform you're at, and who it is that's on tonight. Thank you, Jolisa. Good to see you over on TikTok. Drea Kendall. Go pin. All right, I'll pin. Pin. There. TikTok told me to pin a goal, so I'm pinning a goal. Hey, Denise Green Conway over on Facebook. And who's the moderator over on Facebook tonight? I saw the M. Hey, Jolisa kicking us off with our first gift. Thank you kindly. So this evening, Monday nights, I come to you live at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. It's a casual kind of hangout where we talk about different things in the Aramaic light. And please turn on subscribe so I can do that. I think I'm not sure how to do that right now. Honestly, I don't know how to turn subscription on. I didn't know that I had turned it off. Honestly. Oh, wait, here's a little star. You should be able to subscribe. Here. All right. Oops. There you go. All right, let's see if that'll work. There you go. All right, for those of you wondering, we are converting our platform. Allahu Akbar, Justin. We're converting our platform on TikTok to be subscription chat. Okay. Now that doesn't mean that everyone can't tune in. Everyone can still tune in. It just means that the chat is going to be reserved for people who are subscribers. This is going to help really build the dialogue to be rich, and it's going to eliminate people that are just kind of not interested but interacting. Duncan Ray, a purpose coach, is someone who helps you integrate any trauma or obstacles from the past that seem to be impeding you to actually integrate the lessons, pull out from that purpose and work with you to live each and every area of your life with purpose and passion so that you can grow and prosper. Sometimes in life, yes, Justin. I mean, Justin, if you're just going to pull it out of your hat like that, Justin said trolls. There's a word for them, trolls. Yeah, I understand. I understand it, and it's troublesome because I know most of you come to my channel for specific conversation, spiritual fellowship, empowerment, manifesting peace. And that's what I want this channel to be delivering. My intention for these channels is not because I don't have anything better to do on a given evening. Thank you, Christina. It's that I'm really deliberate about wanting to make sure that the work that I offer as a holistic health practitioner, purpose coach, and ordained minister of the gospel really stays intact and available to people who may not be able to afford classes or one-on-one sessions. Some of you have it within your means to take classes and work with me one-on-one even. And that's extraordinary. I'm grateful. And for who it's meant for, I believe you're getting it. However, there are some people who have the need, have the desire, are willing to commit to the process of healing and delving into spirit and purpose, on purpose, but they don't have the means. And so going live, some of y'all know I offer scholarships to my program. So if you click the link in my bio or just visit livinggodspromises.com, you got to go to my bio. Don't they, Drea? How's it supposed to work, Drea Kendall? Lord. We're working out some stuff with my website. Justin says it's scary to dive inward. That's what people don't anticipate. It is, Justin. And if people don't have like a really learner's spirit, if they just, think they know it all and they're on top of their, game and, they don't need nothing from nobody and blah, 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 like that, just that psychology of we don't need people. We all need people. We all need people, and we all need help at one point or another. We need help. We need support. All right. So you can go to livinggodspromises.com. Thank you, Andrea. Yes, Justin, humility. We were just talking about that today in my board meeting. It really takes humility because otherwise pride comes before the fall. Doesn't work. Doesn't work to be proud like that. So thank you for those of you who are, paying attention and understanding to what it is that we're trying to cultivate here as a community. I'm really looking for people who desire to grow earnestly and who want to be humble. It's with that humble spirit that the greatest of spirit befalls us. Thank you to those of you who have subscribed tonight. It looks like Jojo Lily, Jackie Marie, Mallory, SH Loves to Sing, and Elisa. Am I missing anybody? I thought I saw Joyce too. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm still learning to translate all this stuff over here. But as I say often, if you have a need to be in our programs and you don't have the finances, please reach out. Let me help make that not a barrier. Okay. Welcome those of you who've subscribed. I'm really excited. So starting tomorrow morning on our Tuesday, 10 a.m. Talk It Out Tuesday, starting at 10 a.m. Tuesdays here on TikTok, it will be a subscribers only chat and moving forward here on TikTok. All right. Otherwise, you can join us on any of the other platforms, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and you can join us there and tune in as well. Thank you, Andrea. I appreciate it. Yes, thank you definitely to all who've subscribed. I'm very grateful. So, the topic tonight is an ancient language in modern times. And, in true form to this channel and its content, I want to talk about the relevance of the Aramaic language. The Aramaic language by many is thought to be a dead language, one that isn't being used, one that people aren't reading, one that you can't see in writing anywhere, one that doesn't have a people who are walking around speaking it. And that's really just simply not true. Case in point, I exist. But why it seemed to have been true for so long is simply by the historical break between the East and the far West. I'm going to call America the far West because there was not a break getting the true Eastern history into the West. If there was no East, there would not have been anything for the Greco-Roman Empire to assume hundreds of years, even before Jesus. Even before the Messiah, the Greco-Roman Empire had made its move into the East, had conquered the Assyrian Empire. And remember, the Assyrians were the tribe of people who conquered 10 of the 12 tribes of Israel. And so the number one force in the East was conquered by the Greco-Roman Empire. And I'll call that the Near West. We are the far West. America is the far West. And so the far East and Near East could only really get its position in play through the Near West. The far West wasn't clear on it. As a matter of fact, it was only about 100 years ago. Okay? It was about 100 years ago that, oh, that's fun. It was in the, about 100 years ago when the Far East began really being understood for its language contribution. And why I say that is because before the East had really formed its alphabet system, there hadn't been one in the West. So the Aramaic language, it's really even almost not even about the Aramaic language anymore. The Aramaic language not only gave us the Semitic languages, Arabic, Assyrian, Chaldean, Hebrew. It not only gave us those languages, but when the Greco-Roman Empire assumed what had been created in the East, part of what it assumed was the alphabet. So Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Daleth became Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta. And the imagery changed from the images that the Semitic alphabet had held for Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Daleth, and a different type of alphabet lettering system was created to suit the Greco-Roman culture. And it is that base of language that gave itself into Latin that then gave English speakers their language. But that's why it's so important for us to understand this, because the West has borrowed from the East. The West has borrowed from the East. So the more we understand then the root of what was the East, the better we can understand what has fruited in the West. Once we can understand the roots in the East, we can understand what has fruited in the West. One of the ways we can understand the Bible better is by going back into the Eastern language, the culture, the psychology. So some of you might know that I'm teaching on a particular book. Let me mirror my camera here so that y'all can see the name of this better. Let There Be Light. Let There Be Light. I was scheduled to start this Sunday, but we were down with Spectrum service. Thank God I'm back up tonight. But Let There Be Light is a book written by Dr. Eriko, who walked with Dr. Lemsa, the translator of the Peshitta Bible. Let There Be Light is a 7-week program. It is $77. You can get the book at noohra.com, noohra.com. Let There Be Light is a 7-session series that delves into the Aramaic language, the idioms, mysticism, and culture, psychology, symbolism, and the type of speech that is called amplification from the East. This is like, to have this book is to like put those virtual reality goggles on. And when those goggles are on, you're able to see a whole different scene. This right here helps the scenario of the Holy Scripture come to life in a very different way. Once you understand what this book teaches to give you a proper lens for the Scripture, you will never read the Bible the same again. This is going to help you understand what was literature like poetry, what was vision, what was dreams, what was parables, what was idioms, what was literal. This is the book that will help you decode that. And we're jumping into that this coming Sunday, August 6th at 2 p.m. Eastern. Jolisa said, I used to have customers calling to complain about Spectrum when I worked at the bank. They were misdialing to get to Spectrum. They were calling the bank. Listen, I mean, the good thing about them is they send a little alert out and say, this is when we think we're going to be on. I mean, I guess it's something, but it sure is a little challenging. All right. So Let There Be Light. And the relevance is that we not only get to get some myths busted, if you will. I feel like a little bit of a myth buster, if you guys have ever seen that show. Not only with this writing do we get some myth busting, but we've got something real to apply into our everyday lives. The message of Yeshua Nasraya, the message of Joshua of Nazareth, was not meant to sit in pages, nor is it something that's supposed to be used to bang over each other's heads. It was a message that was meant to activate the greater part of each one of us, which is the great I am. And for good reason, because 1 John 4:4 says, my beloved, you are overcomers, because greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. And so ultimately, the reason that spiritual awakening, spiritual relevance, spiritual prowess, spiritual power is in any form or fashion relevant in this day and age is because of what it's meant to give you in your day-to-day living. It's what it's meant to supply you on a daily basis and in every area of your life. That's why the message of Jesus was, those of you who believe in my ways, in my teachings, in my method, you'll do what I have done and greater. That's precisely what he meant. Because it's for everyone to access. Now, his teaching and the principles of his teaching were for everyone to access. But the way it was spoken, where it was written, where it took place, it was very specific at a particular time, at a particular place, with a particular language, in a particular culture. And with that come some lines for us to color in. If I said something took place in downtown Chicago, we would have one mindset about it. If I said it took place on a cattle ranch down in Texas, we'd have a different mindset about it. If I said it happened in Malibu in Southern California, we'd have a different mindset about it. And in each of those spaces and places is also people, a language, a culture, a mindset, a vibe, a psychology, a method, right? There's a flavor. And so this book really helps bring to light what the space was that we could get an understanding historically, linguistically, politically, religiously, to have a better understanding of this thing we call the Bible. Because the truth is, and I know this is a hard one for anyone in the West to possibly consider, but the truth is, the manuscripts that are the oldest manuscripts of the Bible that sit in Washington, D.C., and the Aramaic edition, and the Mortimer Macaulay of the New Testament, all of those. Thank you, Drea, for your subscription. Thank you all. I appreciate it. We are moving to a subscription chat only starting tomorrow in the month of August. And so, of course, all of you can continue to tune in, but you will be required to subscribe to chat. And so thank you. Our goal was to reach 10 tonight, and we're up to 7 subscribers. So thank you. Three more, and we'll hit our goal for tonight. So the interest is giving us accurate understanding of the scene so we can understand the true vibe of this message. And when we can understand the true vibe of this message, we can apply it in day-to-day lives. Now, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this because I know some well-intending spiritual people. There is a reason that Jesus walked around healing people. And that was because if you're not well, you will mess up the prowess and ability of your spirit to thrive in this world. Let me say that again. If you are someone who is not well, mentally, emotionally, physically, hosting dis-ease, no matter what it is you pray for, thank you, Jem, you're going to impede the ability of your spirit with your own dysfunction. You ever notice that a key part of Jesus's ministry was healing people? Why do you think that was? Why was he healing people? Because if we're not considerate of that question, we might be missing out on some of the bennies ourselves. Some of us, we might be missing out on those benefits. Some of us are missing out on the benefits that God promised us. See, he had a heart for those who had the ease, because if you don't get your human machine in order, it will impede your soul driver. If you do not get your human machine in order, it will impede the soul person that is driving. So if you are impatient, if you are unforgiving, if you are lazy, if you are angry, if you are grudgy, if you stay sick, if you procrastinate, look at all the people that he was running around healing. He had a healing ministry because he knew just because you got the great I am in you doesn't mean anything if the outside isn't in agreement with the inside. The outside has to get into agreement with the inside. It doesn't matter if you host the Spirit of God. It doesn't matter. If you've got the great I am in you, you've got the great I am in you, but on the outside, you live in a way that keeps you angry, keeps you financially devastated, keeps you diseased, keeps you in conflict, then it will completely impede the purpose and passion and power of the spirit person. Hey, Frank, tonight's just not that night. We're talking about something else tonight. But I got your prayer. I got your prayer. I heard your heart. You know, I think part of why this message isn't made more important is because we've all gotten comfortable being sinners, quote unquote. Like thinking of ourselves like that. Oh, like, well, you know, I'm just a sinner. I'm just a sinner. I'm just a sinner. Listen, human beings make mistakes. Human beings fall off good courses. That's true. But human beings are just human beings. It's really not a function of that we are sinners. Sinners has taken on a mindset in the West that was fueled by the West, that even affected the East. And so we are wise to consider this message for its true form, because it wasn't designed to say you are a sinner born of iniquity. That's not what Jesus's message said. Jesus's message said, you are the light. You are the light of the world. You are Nuhurat Alma. You are Nuhurat Alma. That's good news. That you're not just this, that you're actually a spirit, that you're a spiritual being, an extension of the great Creator itself. If we then genuinely are the light of the world, then whatever is in the way is the thing that needs to be healed. If that's what you are, then anything in the way of that is the thing that needs to be healed. That's why it was different for each and every person that Jesus encountered. Dion Coleman, whenever I catch your messages, my faith is renewed. Thank you. God bless you, Dion. Thank you very much. I pray that you'll stay connected to our channel and maybe jump into some of our classes. Join us in activating your great I am. If you're not already a member of our community on Facebook, please visit livinggodspromises.com. livinggodspromises.com. Why is it called that? Because y'all, I'm telling you, there are promises that are made to you for your prosperity and your peace. There are promises, spiritually endowed gifts waiting to be yours. But if you don't believe that, then you won't access them. If what you've bought into is the human programming of what you are and what you are not, and you just keep sticking by that, you're going to miss out on living God's promises. There is a life intended for people who align themselves with this spirit of truth. And when you align yourself with those principles, you're not only going to feel better, an inner feeling, but you're going to heal. You're going to resolve dis-ease in your life. You're going to have better relationships. You might lose some relationships. I'm not saying it's a quick fix on everything. Sometimes the awakening of your soul and the healing of your human self requires you to give up. It requires you to give up some stuff. Sometimes in that leveling up, you have to lose some things. Look, I put a Cadillac in the car. You got to get in the garage. You got to get rid of the hoopty. You got to take the old car out and put the new car in. So yeah, there's losing something. Hey, Odessa, good to see you, sister. There's losing something. But losing what? The lesser version? Losing what? The dis-ease? Losing what? Your ego? Your pride? Losing what? It really takes something to be someone who lives God's promises, because you are going to be asked to leave something behind. You're going to be asked to leave something behind as you advance, as you grow, as you graduate. You cannot be in elementary school and go to high school. You're going to have to leave high school. You're going to have to leave elementary school behind. And most people are resisting that growth. Most people are avoiding what they have to let go of, because what they have to let go of, they have begun to identify here as true. They identify with themselves as the real deal. Right, Jackie says losing those things will lift a weight you didn't know was there. Jody Shalito, good to see you, sister. She said, it's my season right now. You know what? It is. And for many of us, there's this video traveling around the internet right now showing the eagle. And there's this eagle taking off into flight, and it says there's only one thing that attacks at an eagle, and that's a crow. A crow will literally ride the backside of an eagle. And the only defense that an eagle has with that crow on its back is what? Ascend. Ascend. You fly higher, the crow can't handle it. It will fall off naturally. And look, Jesus, woo, look, I know you want to turn around and bust that crow in its lips, in its little crow lips. I know you want to turn around and pluck every dang crow feather out of that mug. I know you want to turn around and be like, what, the crow? I know. But if you do that, that means you got to stay in the crow's level. You could just eliminate the problem altogether and fly higher. What crow? Look, what crow? You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm sorry, was there a crow? I didn't. Huh. You know what I'm saying? And so you have to leave something behind when you ascend, when you graduate, when you grow, when you level up. It requires you to leave something behind. Usually it requires leaving something of yourself behind. You don't get to act that way no more. You don't get to talk that way no more. You don't get to dress that way no more. You don't get to behave that way. And this is why it's so important that we have that ancient language of Aramaic properly placed in our psychology, because we're not even aware of what it's given us, that it's given us. We're not aware of what it's given us, and we're using it, and we're using it wrong. And I'm here to help us use this word and to use it rightly so we can get out of it what we're meant to get out of it. So we're meant to glean, so we can get to and glean what we're meant to glean. Look, y'all can call me crazy if you want to, because Lord knows this last week I've been called worse. Hello. But I believe when Jesus says, those of you who believe will do what I have done and greater. I believe that. I believe that. I believe that those of us who line up with the teachings of Jesus the Christ, I believe those of us who line up with the psychology, with the thought frequency, with the understanding, with the conviction, I believe that we will do what he did and greater. I believe that. I don't believe that that was like some saying. Oh, he didn't mean that. That was just an expression. Nope. No, he meant that. That's a real statement. That's not an idiom. And so if I believe that, but I don't live and produce a life like that, then what's the problem? How many people walking around say they believe in Jesus as something, as a Lord, as a Savior, as a prophet, as a master teacher? They all got something. They all got dibs on him somehow, but they ain't living nothing like it. What's up with that? What's up? Still bitter, still grudging, still diseased. So is it that what Jesus said is actually not working, or is it that the people haven't tapped into it? 40,000 plus denominations of Christianity. 40,000? Y'all, what do we need 40,000 denominations? Oh, it's Matthew, Mark, and John. were all the ones that walked with him. Luke didn't walk with him. Paul didn't walk with him. And all the other books from the other ones are not granted into the Bible, right? Thomas's book, that's not in there. Mary, that's not in there. So there's a bunch of stuff that's not in there. So if we just look at the book, that the world has said is the book, Matthew, Mark, and John, go read those. Go read those and tell me why, if what he said is true about us, why we as a human race aren't doing better. Except that we haven't been taught accurately. I mean, because how many times do you take someone to driver's training and they not know how to drive a car? We've been being humans for a lot of years. A lot of years. And I'm not just talking about like my 50 and your 30 and his 80 and whatever. Although that's plenty. I'm saying, and you'd think we would learn our lessons and do better just from those amount of years. But I'm talking about the tens of thousands of generations of human being. If we've been walking around for a couple thousand years with Jesus' messages and longer than that with other prophets' messages, why aren't we doing any better? Why aren't we producing any better? Why are we still raping our daughters and killing our sons and betraying and alienating our elderly? Why? And I believe it's because we actually have the messaging wrong. I believe that all this messaging, walking around telling people they're sinners born of iniquity, going to hell, is wrong. Making them earn their way to heaven, even if they got to earn it through faith. Why? If they came from there. How am I gonna come from God and you tell me I got to do something to get back to God? I'm a piece of God. All I got to do is die out my flesh and I'll be back with my God. I ain't got to plead nobody's blood. That was an old Jewish custom, and before that, pagan custom of slaughtering things as a sacrifice. God requires none of it, and he sure isn't going to require it of his son. Why are we walking around with this dead realm information? Because we don't have the truth, because the truth is wrapped up in a language we keep calling dead. And it's not dead any more than I'm dead. And for so long as I live, I'll guarantee it ain't going to be dead. Because I'm going to be speaking it. Shuchal Shemme. Praise be his name. But why that matters is not because y'all need to know Aramaic. It's because you need to know the truth about who you really are. The light. You are the light. You are a spirit of a God that is spirit. And when you are done with this assignment, you will go back to spirit. Now let's play. Now let's get it done down here. Now let's play big. Now let's swing hard. Now let's let it rip. Now that you know you can't lose. Now that you know you can't lose. Now that you know he said you are Nuhurat Alma, the light of the world, and that is what you are. And when you are out of the skin sack, you will still be that. Now that that's clear, what are we going to do? Somebody said they accept the Savior, but not the lifestyle change that comes with it. And that's because it's based on a Savior. What if the lifestyle change was based on the truth of what you are? What if the lifestyle change wasn't done as a contingency or based on the fact that you are? What if the lifestyle change came by understanding the truth of yourself? See, most people walking around clowning on themselves. I suck. I'm never gonna. It always works out for them. It never works out with me. I don't know when it's ever gonna work out with me. I've been trying. I might as well not even bother. Most people are so down on themselves. There's no way they believe they're the creator incarnate. If I walked up to y'all and said, "Are you God in the flesh?" Most of y'all would be like, "No, no, 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 Rebecca, no, no, no." And then you're going to lie to me and say that's being humble. That's not humble, friends. That's irresponsible. That's derelict. That's neglect to duty. You are the light. Now, to walk around telling me that you're a dimwit, that's called you rebuking the light. And you're not going to grow rebuking yourself. You're not going to prosper rebuking yourself. You're not going to have peace rebuking yourself. You're not going to live with passion rebuking yourself. You're not going to have relationships and sex and money and empowerment rebuking yourself. And yet, if I say to you, "Are you the creator incarnate?" you'll say, "No, no, 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 no." And then lie and act like you're humble. We got to stop. We got to get present to the truth of what flows through these pages that we call the Bible. Who said that over on Facebook? I'm going to rewatch this on my way to work tomorrow and then walk into the office like the light I am. You better walk into your office like the light that you are. And look, some of y'all got to quit turning down the light just because you're around a bunch of people that refuse to put their sunglasses on. Go ahead, Chisler. Here's to you, mama. Hey, Austin. Good to see you, buddy. So that is the importance. If you ever look at me and get on this channel and be like, why does she care so much that we have anything to do with Aramaic? Because the Aramaic is what's holding the truth in the language. If you buy this nonsense that you're getting from the Greek and the Latin and the English, you're going to be buying into some dogma that's killing your power, and you don't know it, and you don't know that you know it. And pasta has been taught and indoctrinated through the churches that tout the Greek and the Latin. So if you're wondering, well, how come my pastor doesn't tell me this? Because your pastor doesn't know it to teach it to you. No offense. And I work with plenty of pastors who call me and are like, can you give me the translation to what Isaiah 56:13 says? I have plenty of pastors who call me on the down low before they build a sermon to go give to their churches. And I encourage them to. I'm like, look, pastor, ain't no shame in the game. You were taught some dead information. I'll help you out. Tova said, "You have set me free. I shoot light beams with every step now." Look, Tova's like, pew, pew, pew. Y'all better put some SPF 50 on if you're hanging out with Ian. This guy said, "I just come in to say hi. I share my sunglasses when I walk on the room." T-mail hot. Preach, lady. Come on now. Come on now. Yes, they said they need to go to Nuda Stat. Everybody go to nuda.com, get your book, come into the study with me. Right, Jackie said it's going to be Star Wars up in here. It's going to be like a bunch of Luke Skywalkers up in the house. Everybody go get this. Jump into Sunday's class. Let's tear this apart. Let me show you why this matters. You might have to bump your head on your own religion for a minute. I'm just going to give you fair warning. You might have to bump your head on your own religion. But let there be light. If you cannot afford the class, it is $77. If you cannot afford the class, send me a direct message. I will work with you to get you a partial or full scholarship. Right here. Let there be light. The 7 keys, okay? The Aramaic language and idioms, the mysticism and the culture, the psychology and the symbolism, and the amplification of speech, so that I can show you how A turned into D, turned into L, turned into Z. All right, let there be light. You can go to noohra.com, noohra.com. Listen, I'm going to wrap up. I know some of you want to talk to me privately, one-on-one. You're welcome to do that. Visit livinggodspromises.com. Select which session you'd like to meet with me in. Some of you are ready to jump into a healing process with me. That option is there. Some of you just need a little bit of coaching. That option is there. Some of you just want to do a quick meet and greet, pray with me, get my 2 cents on something. That option's there for free. But check out the link, see the classes that are available, jump over to Activating Your Great I Am. And of course, if you're someone who is financially flush, stable, well, prosperous, and abundant, please consider donating to Heaven on Earth Ministries. We are a nonprofit in the state of Michigan, serving across the country and around the world. I thank you all for being with me tonight. Thank you for the moderators showing up on all these platforms. I'm so grateful for the way y'all hold it down and uphold this work. And thank you to all of you who continue to support and encourage all of these channels. Remember, starting tomorrow, TikTok is subscription-only chat. So please jump in, and we'll look forward to seeing you on all of these airwaves. God bless you, and good night.